Bucks visiting Lions. Right now, the Lions are -7. This is going to be a doozy because they're both just fun teams. I'm expecting a lot of offense. The total is at 51. Honestly, it's probably always best to just play the under in these games, but I don't want to do that. But Aiden Hutchinson is really good. We're going to go in our Lions preview right now. I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but Aiden Hutchinson, really, really good. That's a Michigan man right there. I bet on Michigan plus 7.5 against Texas. God, that went terrible. The Lions game was just weird, I felt. I don't know. I felt like they should have been way more explosive on offense. Now, this might just be a fact that, hey, the Rams are actually really, really good on defense, so maybe you just couldn't do as much, but the Lions do have that explosive offense, and they really got Jameson Williams going. I've been a big Jameson Williams guy for a long time now, and I was just all over him last year. I was telling everyone, oh my God, he's so great, so great. For some reason, I just forgot about him, and I'm definitely paying the price in all my fantasy drafts this season because I forgot about him. But you know who we can't forget about? Amon-Ra St. Brown, the Sun God. He didn't really do much that game. And he had a couple catches, maybe for a couple yards, but I guess he was just kind of like a decoy, and Jameson Williams just caught everything. Again, it was weird. I was expecting way more out of Amon-Ra St. Brown, especially because I just watched receiver. So he's fresh in my mind. I'm like, this guy is a human being and he deserves to catch a football. Now on the other side, the Bucks, they looked fantastic, yes. Now was it because they were just playing the Commanders? Possibly. You know, that could honestly be it. But Baker Mayfield, when he's having fun out there, then I'm having fun watching him have fun, and then the entire nation's having fun. And it even goes to continents, so everyone can have fun when Baker Mayfield's having fun. Not to say when he's not having fun, you're not having fun. It's just not as good as a football game. Right now, the Lions have 10% of the bets, but 73% of the money. They open up 6.5, then it went down to -6, and then it went back up to -6.5, and I think it was at -7 at one book, but it's probably gonna get down to -6.5 again. So we're thinking about this in terms of the Factor formula, right? Amon-Ra St. Brown has no emotion. He tries to exude a lot of emotion, but I don't see him having a lot of emotion. In my head, I really resonate with that because I have a lot of emotion, but he doesn't have any, but I do. So we're the same, but different, but also same, and we don't show it just whatsoever. We like to keep it up and keep it bottled inside like real men. Like a real men does it. I'm gonna give a half point over to the Lions. Now, Baker Mayfield. Gotta play blackjack in Vegas with two of my favorite comedians, Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura. That was absolutely electric. Seeing him there, just having a good time. Again, he's all about fun. I just put this together as I'm speaking it. I scripted this all out, but he's having fun. I cough there. I like to have fun too. I really wish, like people talk about what's your dream dinner guest. My dream would just be like, hey, what's your dream blackjack table? That's a great dinner conversation. I'm gonna use that whenever I don't know what to say next in some random scenarios that I am shoved in the public. Anyway, Jason Kelce was there, that rocked. A lot of it just rocked, and I wish I was there. I even bought a jacket that had their vodka company that they're promoting, Porosos. I've never even had their vodka. I can tell you it's delicious. With that being said, Baker Mayfield was cool. He hung out with some of my favorite comedians. So I'm gonna go ahead and give a full point over to the Bucs. Jameson Williams, gambling, good stuff. Full point back to the Lions. So right now I have the spread at -7.5 the Lions. Gut says go with Lions here. Saints visiting Dallas. Dallas right now is -6.5, but the total is 45.5. That was a mouthful. Let's hop into it. The Saints. I've always been a big Derek Carr guy. Now, why is that? Well, I saw him one day and go, I like that guy. And sometimes that's just how it works. Just guys being guys and, you know, guys vibing. Am I right or am I right? That guy gets it. Sometimes you just look at a person and go, I like that guy, and now he's my guy, and I've always defended him blindly. It hasn't been an easy road, some people would say, but it's one that I am taking pretty much on a lonely path myself, alongside with his brother who always defends him and blocks people on Twitter from my understanding. But he played well on Sunday. That's happy. I guess he might be back. I don't really know. It was a terrible Carolina Panthers team that I did bet with that he did play against, so that probably explains why he did so good, or maybe just vibes were high. Vibes could have been high and he did well. Kamara is also a good running back. I feel like everyone forgets about him, but I vividly remember he was on like what those half stability ball things, catching a tennis ball. I remember going like, that guy knows how to run the NFL. I can do that, but I can't run in the NFL. I can't do a lot of things, but what I can do is eat a whole sleeve of cookies tonight and have buffalo chicken dip in the fridge. I got hangry, but now I'm back. I don't know if this light is super distracting or terrible. Can someone tell me if this looks awful? I don't know what to do. I just moved into a new apartment. I have a window. It does give me natural light, but it's after dark, and I can only film this in certain times. It doesn't matter. I'm back. I still need to eat. I lied. I was just writing other stuff. I don't know what's going on in my life, but I know that I hate Dallas. I know I hate Dallas for a fact, and betting on the Browns, watching Dallas hurt. It hurt my soul. CeeDee Lamb, turns out, can still catch a football. Dak Prescott, 4 years, he is making $240 million. $240 million. I have not made $240 million yet. I also can't do what he does in quarterback yet, but should he be getting paid that? Because he is beyond average. I don't think he's a good quarterback. I think he's a good quarterback. He's not a great quarterback. He's not $240 million worth. I'm sorry, $240 million, you can buy so many board games and just play it one time, throw it out immediately. Maybe you can do a Toys for Tots type of thing. I don't know if they'll take it used, but you can just buy so many board games. I don't know if you're into that, but that's something that could happen. And I'm kind of in the camp of telling myself, hey, the Browns beat themselves. Dallas did not beat the Browns, but we all know Dallas is good, and that's because the games are won in the trenches. There's just a trench play. And also, there is that weird stat where it's like, hey, if you're a short dog and then the other team, and then you go into a short favorite that the other team wins, whoever turns into a dog, which doesn't really make sense, but makes sense when you think about it, because then all the public money's coming in late, reversing such a close line. Doesn't matter. It was kind of confusing, but let's put this into the Effective formula and make some sense of it. I've never been to New Orleans. I don't know if that's how you say it. I always get made fun of how I say it. I don't know if it's because I don't know how to say it or because I have a speech impediment, but I like to eat food. I'm a guy who eats food. I just told you I took a break to eat food. I did not eat jambalaya, but I have had jambalaya. I have had jambalaya one time, and it was very good. So I'm going to give a half point to the Saints. This is a Brandon Cooks revenge game. Yes, everyone, CD, you're so amazing, but everyone forgets that Brandon Cooks is really, really good. He did numbers with the Saints. I'm sure he had over 1,000 receiving yards. He might have not had over 1,000 receiving yards with the Saints. I'm not 100% sure, but I remember he was good with the Saints, and now he's good with Dallas. He scored a touchdown. I got him in late rounds, some underdog drafts, but this is a revenge game. So I'm going to bet player prop. Bang, bang, player prop time. Brandon Cooks over receiving yards. Now, what is that number exactly? I have no idea, but I'm going to go ahead and smash it. I also realized I was wearing a hat in the previous video. I'm not wearing one now. It doesn't matter. I'm also going to give it, since it's a revenge game, he's going to pop off. Now, I don't want to do this, but I have to give 2 points over to Dallas. And the last part of this formula is that I hate Dallas. So there goes a half point. So Dallas minus 7.5 is a play. I will hold my nose and bet Dallas. Not happy about it. If it crosses over into 7, maybe it goes Saints, maybe 7.5 it goes Saints. But right now I think we can catch Dallas early at minus 6.5. If I see any minus 6s out there, I'm going to smash it, but it's been pretty steady at minus 6. Colts visiting Green Bay. Green Bay right now is 3.5 point dogs. The total is 41, so let's hop into it. Green Bay is coming back. Now they had extra rest, right? But they did have some extra travel because it was 10 hours from Brazil. That field was terrible. And honestly, I think it was so bad. Obviously, Jordan Love got injured, which is sad. You don't want to say any type of injury, but he might be coming back now. They don't think he's coming back, but there is a chance that he's coming back. So it's kind of confusing because he's supposed to be out for 4 weeks, but they're like, oh yeah, sure. I don't know. Let's just toss him in there. So definitely have to think through that one. But that being said, as of right now, he is not coming back for this start, and it is going to be Malik Willis, and that brings up a lot of questions. Sure, there's some stats saying, hey, underdogs at home, not too bad, but I don't like it here. But the thing I do like about it is that they do have a top tier defense, and that defense was playing in that terrible soccer field in Brazil where you would just be slipping every single 2 seconds. Now, my thought, it's almost like they were playing baseball with a weighted donut on, like they're doing some warm-up swings. So maybe once they get to a real field, they're just going to be absolutely electric. That's one thing to note. On the other side, you did have the Colts. They had a bad, good game against the Texans. But Anthony Richardson, he went 9 for 19. Not really exactly what you want, but he just has an arm, and he's an exciting player. So it doesn't really matter like what's going on. You just know, okay, he could slip and then throw a 80-yard touchdown pass. That part of it is like, okay, like this guy might always keep you in the game. He does only have this would be his 19th start since high school. So he only started 19 more games than me from high school. So it's kind of impressive, but not really. The line opened up at Green Bay plus 2.5, then went to plus 3. Right now it's sitting at plus 3.5, then went back plus 3, but now it's at plus 3.5. So I think that's like where she's going to be as of I'm filming this. I also think the public's going to come in, back to Colts hard, just because Malik Willis just threw one ball, but he didn't get a throw. He just got sacked, and now the whole public, including myself, is like, that guy sucks at football. And Green Bay had 34% of the bets with only 24% of the money. So the point differential is actually 10% in the Colts' favor, but the majority of the bets are on the Colts. So take all that stuff aside. What's important here, into the effective formula we go. Like I mentioned, playing on a real field, it's going to feel as if last week they were on a donut. So I think the defense is going to be flying around. There's going to be high vibes. They're finally at home, although they were visiting the Eagles, were at home in Brazil. And people are just going to be happy. So with that being said, we go ahead and give a half point over to the Packers. So right now, the line is at, now with the Colts, one of their wide receivers is Michael Pittman Jr. I really like Michael Pittman Jr. So I was like, you know what? I want to learn more about him. And it turns out his girlfriend, when he was in college, was into equestrian. So they put him on a horse. And now it wasn't a big horse, it was just a mini horse, and they had him all run around. The visual of a football player with pads on a miniature pony riding around, saying that he had a fun time, is very, very funny to me. So I'm gonna go ahead and give 2 points over to the Colts. In the end of the day, pretty simple. I really like Chiefs, so a half point over to the Packers. That leaves our total at Colts -4, I believe. So I guess I'm gonna go ahead and back Colts in this spot. I don't feel great about it. This is probably the game out of all the ones I'm reviewing that I'm like, I'm not so sure about this bet, but I wanna have fun. And if I lose betting on Anthony Richardson, then that's how I lose, okay? And I'll eat cheese no matter what. Bengals visiting the Chiefs. Right now, the Chiefs are at -6. It was at like, hey, we're at like -3.5 earlier, and then just because the Bengals absolutely stunk it up. I mean, they lost to the Patriots. I live bet that game. I was like, that -1.5 to go in, they score a touchdown, now they're up. It just went down, or they didn't go up. That was a Notre Dame game against NAL. I live bet that one too. Right as I was about to bet the Bengals live against Patriots, I said to my roommate, hey, I just did the same thing with Notre Dame. It didn't turn out well. I probably shouldn't do it here. And the next thing you know, I go, okay, DraftKings sounds good. I click send. So I definitely got bit in the back for that one. By the way, the total is also at 47.5. So diving into this game, the Bengals, as I mentioned, they didn't look great. They were definitely missing Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon ran it all over, into people's throats, out of people. But now it just feels like the Bengals don't really have any type of run game, which is a little bit sad, but I think they're gonna be able to piece it together for my boy Joey B. That was just an absolutely embarrassing loss that they had. I think they'll kind of bootstrap themselves together. But Joe Burrow, week 1 and 2, I think he's what, like 4-9? I mean, he is just terrible in these first 2 weeks, and then he heats up. I'm kind of hoping that stigma kind of goes off him and that he's just going to cover. It is so many points. I mean, it's 6 points. That's a lot of points. A Super Bowl contending team against the Chiefs. Now, how did the Chiefs look? Fantastic. Turns out having somebody who can catch a football and then run after they catch the football is very important in the game of football. I say that numerous times on this channel because it's that true. I did bet on the Chiefs. I didn't bet on the Ravens. So when I saw Isaiah Likely's toe just kind of go out of the end zone, oh, that felt so good. That felt so good. I was so stressed, but it felt so good. And I want to feel that feeling, but not for the Chiefs. I want to feel it with the Bengals. Yeah, that's right. I'm kind of alluding to it, but don't worry. We're going to toss in the effect formula so I can confirm what this is going to be at. As I mentioned previously, this number opened up, I think it was like 3.5 a couple months ago, or like when they're like, hey, here's your week 2 line that's so early, but it's in the summertime, but you don't really mind it, so you're just looking at the lines, and then you realize how far away NFL is, and then you get sad. But then when the lines came out for the week 2, we noticed that they just jumped. Obviously, because the Bengals did bad, and they lost to what was projected to be the worst team in the NFL. So it's at -6, then dipped down to -5.5, -6, now it's down to -5. So we can definitely tell people are like, hey, this is probably an overreaction line. But what's more important is putting this into the effect formula, right? Starting off that viral video of Joe Burrow, people are concerned about his hand. I get these upset wrists every once in a while, and I can't really seem to figure out how to make them feel better. But he couldn't grip a water bottle. I mean, he's just on the sideline, he's just playing the wrist, and then just couldn't grip the water bottle. It was a bad look for anyone who's concerned about his wrist health. So that being said, I'm gonna have to take a half point from the Bengals, give it to the Chiefs. Now, on the other hand, the Chiefs, really good football team. Mahomes is really good quarterback. That was that one. That took me through that was a lot of reallys. He was a really good quarterback, but the thing is he just wins games. He doesn't really cover a lot of times when it's over 3. I think the stat is like he covers 40-something% of the time when it's over 3 points. And this is a large number. I mean, it's not like it's a 4.5. It's not even like it's a 5, maybe. I mean, 4.5 and 5s are very large numbers. It's not like it's a 3.5, maybe a 4. I just counted every single number, but it doesn't matter to me. 6 is a key number to bet in this spot. Mahomes is literally the Lion King of the NFL. He doesn't just blow out his teams, just, going for the kill. He likes to, like, pray and then just, like, I don't know, like, eat them, but don't really eat them, that type of stuff. Because of that, I'm going to have to give a half point over to the Bengals, actually, because Bengals are lions, but they're not lions, they're tigers, but they can be whatever it is in The Hangover, because that absolutely rocked when they're like, yo, Mike Tyson, you have a lion tiger in your loft, but it was from your house, but now it's in their loft. God, that movie rocked. I love it so much. I'm giving a full point over to the Bengals, actually. So right now I have this at Bengals -5.5. Before the Chiefs game on Thursday night, some very scary news came out. And that was the fact that Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift were meant to break up on X date. Now it turns out, thankfully, because the entire nation, including myself, was concerned that they might break up. So we did not know how that was going to have an impact on just society in general. Right now, oh, is he bigger than the game of football? I don't know. Is she bigger than the game of football? I don't know. I don't know what you want from me. I know a lot of people like her, but I know I love love. And I don't want love to stop. That's all I know. because I believe in love and the fact that, hey, this whole thing was just fake, I'm going to go ahead and give the Chiefs a half point. So right now we're back to -6. But Joe Burrow was able to confidently wear a t-shirt without a back. So half point to the Bengals. Right now I have the Bengals at 5.5. Personally, I place my bet Sunday night when they're at +6. So if you can get 5.5, I would take it. Once it gets to 5 or 4, I would just stay away from the entire game in general. So lock it in, Bengals +6.